Today I'm going to show you how I took a boring corner of my garage and turned it into a functioning studio space. When I decided to create a YouTube channel, I figured a talking head setup like this would be a great place to start. Since I share this house with my wife and my two kids, the garage really was the only space in the house that ticked all of my boxes. So I'll go through each of those real quick. Number one being it's quiet. Since I'm in the garage, I had to really consider what are the outside noises coming in. Thankfully, I'm in a quiet neighborhood and the street noise is pretty minimal. Number two, it has a clean look. So when I first came down here, obviously it wasn't clean, but I knew with just a little bit of work, I'd be able to really clean it out and paint it, make it just look very minimalistic and nice, and that's what I wanted. Number three, I wanted a space that was well lit. So I have a background in doing commercials and lighting, and this was actually a really fun exercise for me, dealing with limitations of the space, but I knew I'd be able to make a lighting design that worked for me and give me the look that I wanted. And also be very controlled. There's no windows in here, so it's always gonna look the same no matter the time of day. And then lastly, it would be turnkey. So I'd be able to leave everything set up, come in, push a button, turn the lights on, and be up and running within a matter of minutes. This area that I'm sitting in actually used to be like an old workbench. I had to put in a few days of labor just cleaning it out, tearing all the wood out, and then painting. Pro tip, if you're gonna paint, I would use matte black paint. The reason being, it's not gonna be shiny. It's not gonna give you any sort of weird color casts or any, if you have a white wall, you're gonna get a bunch of unwanted light hitting your face possibly. So matte black is my recommendation. Before moving down here to the garage, I actually had my office up in the guest room. But whenever we had guests over, it would really throw off my work schedule. So I figured, why not just move down here basically full time for work? So I added my desk setup over here with my computer and monitor. I was a little bit worried about my comfort level being in a garage with no insulation or anything. So I did get a space heater and I added a fan for the hot months. And that's actually been enough for me. I'll open the garage every now and then just to let some air in when it's a really nice day out. And I should say also I'm in Southern California, so that played into the decision as well. So now for my favorite part, the lighting. I did start with just 3 lights. I did have budget in mind, so I wanted to do it as cheaply as possible, but still have a professional look. So I went with 3 lights by Amaran, the 200X, the T4C, and another T4C. So I got 2 of those. And that kind of gave me a nice baseline. Since I moved down here and now I do my Zoom calls down here, I actually added a couple more lights to just give me a nice look no matter where I'm sitting in the space. And I've added a few other things like some diffusion and some different mounting things. I should mention on the 200X there's a mini dome with a grid on front of it. And then on the T4Cs I also got a 45-degree grid for those as well. And all that does is it controls kind of where the light is going, so it's not going everywhere, it's just going where you want it. The best part about these lights is that they lead into my last point, which is having a turnkey setup. These lights connect to an app called Sidus Link, and you can literally set up your whole scene, you can dial your lighting in, and then you can turn them off individually, you can save the scene, and then you can just have it preloaded. So no matter what you're doing, you can come in, click your button, it'll load up your scene. I have one for Zoom, I have a couple different looks for YouTube, and then I also have one just for when I'm color grading and I need a very minimal look. I just can't emphasize enough how nice it is to come in for work and press a button, just be ready to roll. This has been such a fun project and it just keeps giving me more ideas for things I want to do down the line, but for now I'm pretty satisfied with where it's at. So if you got any use out of this video or enjoyed it, please subscribe, like it, and look forward to seeing you in the next one.